Swimming in Atlanta, Vultures out in Baltimore, Kira, Carolina, and Wyland in Chicago, Highland down in Whitney, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee crowd is deep. They lunching in Vancouver, Desperado shooting, the Renegades on the loose, the hyenas looting. Gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows. The Furies swooping in divine order for the pharaohs. Indy on the rise, the Sharks about to mash, Gladiators, Knights, and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Now welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Game day, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the rockets. Cause we tighter than the huddles. Welcome to the playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Now welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Third down is going down. Round the pound, oh, we gotta air them out. That's why I gotta hit the route. Hit the flat, if I catch it, then I'm out. Fourth and inches gotta take it. YOLO, just no pump fake. So tighten up and hit the power high. The outer blow the draw alongside.
What a move by Varner. Varner makes a man miss. Shan Varner is going to score. One of the best plays in Varner's illustrious career.
Let me remind folks here, Shan Varner, a 6'6" tight end with this nimble move.
Hart breaks a tackle. Hart 20 down to the 17-yard line. Best run of the day for Colin Hart. And Sioux Falls has grabbed some momentum off the Nyberg interception. 7:54 to go in the second. Jay Ayola shakes it. Oh my goodness, Ayola gets away. Jay Ayola on the first play for Tallahassee. It's going to score again. Pass is intercepted by Jeffrey Daggs and returned up to the 11-yard line. And the Aztecs away. Odom breaks another tackle. Ash Odom, you've got to be kidding me. Big chase and one touchdown. Oh my God. Tonight from Baltimore, Maryland, it's a battle of two coaching heavyweights and two franchises in the SFL with plenty of history and plenty of winning. The Mexico City Aztecs, headed by Ramos Lynn, Hall of Famer Matt Wilson and Ray Bentley, and the Baltimore Vultures with Tim Johnston, T-Pat, the great Amon, the Dazzos, and many other. It's a primetime playoff showdown for the ages, and it starts right now. Welcome to Vultures Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. A beautiful 58-degree and clear night from nearby the nation's capital. Alongside Nathan Blake on stats and Stephen Mullinex, I am Cameron Irvine. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm wonderful to get this great playoff matchup going here on a Sunday night. Mexico City, the season 9 champions, but since then have had back-to-back 7-5 seasons. Last year, a playoff win versus Oklahoma City, but lost to the eventual champions, Alaska. And for Baltimore, They entered the league back in season 3 as the Crabs. They went to the playoffs for 5 straight seasons, but they folded after season 9. Now, rebranded as the Vultures, they've won 8 straight coming into their playoff opener.
The Vultures and the Aztecs getting ready to go. And we were talking pregame. I think this is the first, we believe it's the first matchup between Ramos Lynn and Tim Johnston / Thomas Paternitti in the playoffs. These two teams have met plenty of times, or these two organizations met plenty of times in the regular season, but not necessarily in the playoffs. The Vultures making their first playoff appearance. Mexico City is no stranger to them. The ball's on the tee, and Shark Tarkington's got his hand in the air. It's time to kick it. We're underway. From the 5-yard line, this is Jeffrey Daggs, and Daggs returns up to the 30. And Stephen, you were talking about in our pregame conversation that you believe that he should be considered maybe for the MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, take a look at this Mexico City team. They are a primary defensive team, 3rd in total defense, 4th in pass defense, 5th in run defense, and Jeffrey Daggs is that unit's best player.
2 backs in the backfield and a 3-4 defense showing for Baltimore. And the handoff goes to Ray Bentley, and Ray Bentley made a man miss and picked up 8 yards. That's a great start for him as Hendricks Thornberry makes the tackle, picks up 8 yards. Let's meet the Mexico City Aztecs starting offense. Bentley in his 4th season, 5'11", 234. Matt Wilson, the Hall of Famer, number 12, in his 6th season. The kicker's Cole Varner in his 3rd season, 6'2", 205, has not missed this season. The wide receivers, K.L. Barrett in his 4th season, Richard Montague in his 4th, as Daggs' pass is knocked away and incomplete down the field. And then tight end Mike Daggs in his 2nd season, the former Corsair. 3rd down.
Well, the Vultures here bring in the 8th best defense here in the SFL, allow an average of 20 points per game, 12th against the pass, 6th against the run. They're going to be tested in both areas today.
Again, looking at a 3-4 defense here for Baltimore, which we've not seen a lot of this season. It's the 3-step drop back for Wilson, fires to the outside, running out of room as Bentley, and Mexico City goes 3 and out on their opening possession. He had tons of space, but the ball got there too late.
Yeah, and give that one to the Baltimore secondary, able to really clog up these routes by the receivers. And Wilson simply couldn't find anyone open and threw the ball out late to Bentley, whose momentum was already taking him out of bounds.
So Mexico City will punt. If you're just joining us, congratulations to the Houston Hyenas. They defeated the Chicago Wildcats today, 31-12. Game a lot closer than the score indicated, as that's a nice return from McFly up to the 35-yard line. Chicago had a pick in the end zone. They kicked 4 field goals. I believe 3 of them were in the red zone. They just could not punch it in. Credit to the Hyena defense.
Yeah, Houston's defense really stifled them, not allowing them to get those critical scores in those critical times. And of course, we've seen this from Houston time and time again. Can they get back to the championship game?
Nickel look for Mexico City and Mike Dazzo, and the offense is out there for the Vultures after the 3 and out from their defense, and T. Roy Gaines picks up a couple of yards. Pablo Zamora and Jack Brown combine on the tackle. 2nd and 8. Let's meet the Baltimore Vultures offense. Quarterback number 7, Mike Dazzo, 6th season, first with the Vultures, but all with SFL Baltimore. The receivers on the outside, Garen Money Malone, number 18, in his 2nd season. Daley Holder, number 87, in his 3rd, and Shea Carroll in his 2nd, number 88. They employ no superstar tight end as the handoff goes to Gaines again. Running right, and here goes Gaines. Gaines 45-40, and Gaines out of bounds at the Aztec 35-yard line. Jeffrey Daggs and King Wallace on the tackle.
We'll expect a lot of this tonight. We've said it before. When we've seen T. Roy Gaines this season, Cam, especially as the season progressed, he got more and more involved in this offense, became a bigger part they do. And now here at the precipice of his importance here, he's going to be used a lot. These 2 running backs, Cam, expect a lot of them. There were only 28 yards separating them at the end of this season. So both of them 1,000-yard rushers. We're going to see plenty of looks from both of these guys tonight.
9:13 to go in the first. Vultures have the first move of the chains tonight in the red helmets, black jerseys and pants with the white numbers, and Dazzo fires a dangerous ball to the near side, caught by Malone. Zamora with another tackle, picks up 4.
When you have a number 1 wide receiver like Garen Malone, you can make those kind of plays. Your quarterback rushed out of the pocket a little bit, throws on the run, and you know that your guy's going to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
2nd down and 6. 3 wide, 2 to the left, far side left. The line shifts to the right for the Aztecs, and they'll hand it off to Gaines. Now middle left, and gets the ball to the left hash mark on the 27-yard line. Dags was there again to make the stop. Jeffrey, that is. 3rd and 2. His brother Nick plays in the slot.
Well, at 6'2", 240 pounds, Gaines is a punishing finisher. This is a guy that looks to hit defenders, and in the secondary particularly, like those smaller defenders, gets on top of them.
Gaines, 1st down to the 22-yard line. They mark him down, although at the 23. Bad spot. 3 minutes gone, and right now Baltimore is on the move.
And you got to like what the Vultures are doing. This is one of their early criticisms, that they weren't using T-Roy Gaines enough here. We've seen plenty of him here in the first series, and look, they are on the edge of the red zone.
4 receivers, 3 to the right side. Again, nickel look from the Aztec defense as Dazzo drops to throw 5 steps. Now out to Gaines, and Gaines is brought down by Agawa. Excellent open field tackle for the corner, number 38 in his 2nd season.
And the running back actually led this team in receptions just by 2. 84 receptions on the season for Gaines, so you know they like to use him as a receiving threat out of the backfield.
2 in the backfield, including Gaines. Dazzo hands it off to him again right up the middle, and look at Jack Brown crashing to the football. No gain. Excellent play by the 3rd season linebacker.
Yeah, Jack Brown, he's going to have a terrific game in the middle. He's got a big task in front of him trying to stop the locomotive that is Gaines, but he absolutely can do it. 137 tackles on this season, Cam. That's the 3rd most in the SFL.
3rd and 8 at the 21. Dazzo, empty backfield, shotgun, going long, end zone, caught, touchdown! Daly Holder and the Baltimore Vultures.
Well, this Daly Holder guy, we know this name. This guy is a game changer. And surprise, surprise, 6'4", 120 pounds. This guy's their 3rd wide receiver on the depth chart. And you can see here he takes advantage of that kind of a mismatch. You can put him in the slot on a lot smaller defender. And because of his height and playmaking ability, he can absolutely dominate there. What separation, using his feet to gain that separation on the post route right in the middle of the field.
Daly Holder, no stranger to the playoffs. He actually was the team owner of San Francisco when the San Francisco Bulldogs upset the Baltimore Crabs in season 3. One of the greatest upsets, if not the greatest upset in SFL postseason history. And now he's playing for the same squad as Tim Johnston and Thomas Paternitti. Brought him on from San Antonio in the offseason.
Yeah, one of the rare former owners to make the transition to team player and find success. Obviously, Deacon Nickens, most famously understood at OKC, has done the same thing.
So 7-0, 6:40 to go in the first. This is Dags on the return. Dags makes a couple miss and then drags some defenders out to the 31-yard line. So 6:36 to go. The Aztecs still looking for their first down of the game. First down of the game.
And the Vultures, this is what they do on offense. They have probably the most balanced offense in the SFL. 10th in scoring, 9th in passing, 9th in rushing offense, and we saw them do that there on their first series.
With 2 in the backfield, Matt Wilson calling out a different play at the line. That pass, not enough on it. Looking for Montague, and Hendricks Thornberry already has a tackle and a pass breakup. Gets there. Wild Thornberry on the outside.
Yeah, if Mexico City's going to get into this game, it was hard for us to imagine them to do so through their passing game. They're 20th in the SFL, and actually Wilson, he only has 320 pass attempts in the league. That's the lowest of any 12-game starter under center here in the SFL. So this is a running primary team. 7th in the SFL in rushing, averaging 107 yards. So if you ask them to pass, you do have an Hall of Famer under center, but he hasn't been asked to do much this season.
And can't fall behind too early in terms of the number of possessions. Mexico City certainly not a team that appears to be built that way, as Ray Bentley picks up 6 up the middle. Tony Willis with a crunching hit. Bentley a little slow to get up, but Ray Bentley is very important tonight for the Aztecs. He's got to get going.
Yeah, and this isn't necessarily the rusher that we saw him just a couple seasons ago, but they need him to turn into that rusher here in this game if they're going to compete with the high-scoring Baltimore team.
3rd and 4 at the 38, 6:05 to go in the first. The handoff goes to Bentley, and Ray Bentley is stuffed 1 yard shy. A double-team tackle. Kaz McFly was in the area. 3 and out again for Mexico City, and this is a nightmare start for the Aztecs.
Yeah, I'd give a lot of credit to the Vultures defense. That strong linebacker core, probably one of the best here in the SFL. Joe Dazzo and Amon Takes, they're going to be tough to run on. We've seen that so far this season. And Kaz McFly, the cornerback, a Week 3 signing, probably one of the best midseason pickups in SFL history.
From the 25, here's McFly. Oh, McFly took a big hit at the 34-yard line, but still an excellent return. And, I thought that was McFly, but Damon Morehouse, the backup running back, is hurt. That was a scary moment because McFly is a huge part of this defense.
Yeah, and huge part of the special teams. But, never want to lose a player, but if you've got to have one down, I guess you settle for a role player. But even those guys can be important, especially if this is going to be a game where T. Roy Gaines is going to be overused. Sometimes they got to call those bench guys like Morehouse out there to get critical plays.
So halfway through the first quarter, it's all Vultures thus far, but the game is young. 4 receivers, 3 to the left for Dazzo. Empty look. Dazzo going to throw. Near side, caught just past Zamora's hands. Shea Carroll with his first catch, and Dazzo's spreading it around early. He's already got a catch to 4 different players.
Well, that play was all about arm strength, Cam. You don't have to question if this the old veteran here has what it takes to get the ball down the field. Really zipped that ball past Zamora, and that's all about that internal arm strength that the guy has.
Dazzo's 4 of 4 for 32 yards, 5 for 5. That's the 5th different target he's hit with a reception. On his first 5 passes, Morgan with that catch.
We've seen Baltimore try to throw off defenses in a similar way before, Cam. We'll see a real heavy series that features Gaines as a rusher, and then they'll flip the script on the next series and go through the air like they've done here the first 2 downs.
3rd and 2 at the 42. That's Aztec defense trying to conserve some energy, get off the field. Hand off to Gaines, running right. Gaines just throws Agawa to the side, but then a first down saving tackle is made by Dorian Lopez. What a play on Gaines in the open field to push him back.
Yeah, bad blocking there by Baltimore, and Gaines actually took on an extra block that he probably shouldn't have, but a good job by Dorian Lopez to not stop on the play and follow through it, even though he might have thought that the running back was already getting tackled.
Punt is away from the Vultures. From the 20, this is Jeffrey Daggs, and Daggs had 3 people, and wasn't going to make him on this. Let's meet the Baltimore Vultures defense. Corners on the outside, Cass McFly, the rookie, along with Hendricks Thornberry, the rookie, young in the secondary at least in that on the outside. Linebacker, not young. Joe Dazzo, inside linebacker, 6th season in the league, nicknamed Papa Dazzo. Amon Takes, 6'2", 243, rookie, outside linebacker. The safeties, Tony Willis, 5th season, and he wears number 31. That pass is incomplete, and that's Giovanni Bolt, the last guy that we have to mention, last but not least, as he and Jeffrey Daggs are, Stephen?
Tied for the league lead in interceptions with 10 each, which makes for an intriguing matchup, and nearly had his 11th there, as that's a guy that you simply do not want to test, the guy that's got 10 interceptions and leads the league.
Wilson has started 1 of 4 He is having a rough go of it here at Vulture Stadium. 2 in the backfield, 2nd and 10. He's going to throw. Wilson going long. Wilson's pass is incomplete. McFly knocked it away at the last second as Morehouse will not be back. Pass intended for K.L. Barrett, who I thought was going to catch that ball and could have gone for 6.
We cannot say enough good things about McFly, right? Week 3 signing, comes in, has an instant impact. 6th in the league in pass defense with 15. Add 16 to that one and 4 interceptions.
3rd down and 10, 4:06 to go. Mexico City trying to avoid a 3rd straight 3 and out. Wilson going long again. Pass is caught by Barrett in one-on-one coverage down to the 49-yard line. Thornberry was defending, and Mexico City finally gets the ball down the field.
Well, you need a big play. Look to your 6'5", 240-pound receiver to get up and go get the 50-50 ball. Number 19, 67 receptions, 809 yards, and 5 touchdowns. The undoubted number 1 wide receiver on this offense, and Matt Wilson's number 1 guy.
That's worth a hashtag clip it in our video archive. That was a tremendous play from K.L. Barrett. 1st and 10 at the Aztec 49-yard line. They start with a Bentley run. Bentley running right and picked up 3 and really made something out of nothing as there was no hole up the middle.
Yeah, you're right. He was able to really break it to the outside of the line and get it across there. But, this is still – I don't think this is the Bentley that we've seen just a couple of seasons ago. This is a guy who often will break tackles, known for doing that. I wonder if it's going to take some time for him to lather up.
2nd and 7 at the 48-yard line of the Vultures. Handoff Bentley again. Bentley breaks a tackle. Bentley gets a block. Bentley got a 1st down out of the 35-yard line. Running away from Amon Takes here to start the evening, and it's another 1st down for Mexico City.
Well, that's the beast that we know and love, the power to push that pile and oppose his will cam. That's the guy that once posted over 2,000 yards in this league, a former league MVP. This guy here is electric when he gets going, and that's what I expect to see more from him tonight.
1st and 10 at the Baltimore 35. The handoff to Ray Bentley. Picks up 1, and a moth hit me in the face just before that play up here in the broadcast booth. That's a first for me.
I was going to make a comment about the Bentley getting hit in the face by 2 defenders, but it just seemed too tacky.
2nd and 9 at the 33. 2:15 to go in the 1st quarter. And Matt Wilson, pocket breaking down, goes down. Loss of 3 yards. Max Xavier with the sack. And that is an important sack, as that takes him possibly out of Cole Varner's field goal range.
Yeah, I agree with you. And here, the objective here on 3rd and 12 may not be to get the 1st down, but just to get better field goal range for your kicker, who is a perfect 31 of 31, 100% field goal percentage so far.
3rd and 12 at the 36 for Wilson. Can't take another sack here. Wilson, 3-step drop. Wilson fires a floater. A wobbler! Caught by Barrett, dragging defenders down to the 11-yard line. An unbelievable jump ball play by Barrett, who's been the MVP for the Aztecs in the 1st quarter.
Well, Wilson, ultimate confidence in Barrett. These 2 teams played previously this season, and there were 6 interceptions between the 2 teams. So, this dangerous pass, absolutely trusting a receiver, and Barrett has the legs and the springs to go up and climb the ladder.
1st and 10 at the 11. Handoff Bentley, and Ray Bentley is picked up and thrown down by Joe Dazzo. Welcome you into the broadcast booth here tonight. The SFL on Twitch quarterfinals. We have, after tonight, Stephen, we have 5 games left in season 11.
Wow. It goes so quickly, doesn't it?
2nd and 10 at the 10. 48 seconds to go in the 1st. They can get about the half-yard line for a 1st down. They'll try Bentley again up the middle. Ray Bentley untouched before he reaches the end zone for the score. And Mexico City strikes back their 1st touchdown against Baltimore's defense this season.
We can see the result of what happens when you hit a couple deep passes like they did on this series, Cam. It starts to open up those rushing lanes, and this one probably the widest hole that Ray Bentley's seen in a while, right to the end zone pay dirt. This is a kid that has a nose for the to the end zone and the pylon, and he shows you right there. This game, it's going to be won both through the air and through the ground. On the ground, excuse me.
Mexico City, an impressive drive after struggling on their first two series to get anything going. Cole Varner, extra point is good, and it is 7-7, and we'll pause for a brief moment for a word from the SFL.
Follow the SFL on Twitter at SimulationFL, on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels. You're already here, right? Might as well stay tuned. Get league updates on your phone while browsing the internet, and make sure you never miss a live broadcast. Thank you for supporting the SFL.
From the goal line, absolutely nothing doing there for Daley Holder, who's returning kicks as McFly. Too exhausted, apparently, off of that last series. And the Vultures will start from way back at their 18-yard line. Great kick.
And we're seeing great balance between these two offenses, both on the ground and through the air. And, with Daley Holder coming up with the touchdown for Baltimore and the big plays that Graham Malone is making, for Mexico City. So important to get both aspects of the offense going.
Ooh, Gaines got his leg taken out from under him, and he's a little slow to get up on his butt. King Wallace coming over to make the stop. Both running backs off to strong starts here at Vultures Stadium. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Tallahassee and Queen City, which is tomorrow. Coverage starts at 6:30 Central right here on Twitch, followed by Sioux Falls and Alaska at 8:15. And off again. Gaines running right. T-Roy Gaines, nothing. Agawa, another tackle. And that ends a fast-moving first quarter of play here on the SFL Network on Twitch. We'll pause for just a moment. For a word from our sponsors, this is the SFL Quarterfinals, presented by APM Music on Twitch TV. APM Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to forum.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library and custom music house. Start of the second quarter of the SFL, presented by APM Music, MediaTek Institute, Show Business Studios, ScoreStream, Richards Printworks, Spygoat, and Matt Doyle Designs, as that pass is incomplete as Mike Dazzo tried to fit that into a tight space. And Baltimore will have to punt it away, and momentum has turned in favor of Mexico City.
Well, in the previous matchup back in week 4, Mexico City actually defeated Baltimore 15-7. Now, these are two clearly different teams at this point here in the playoffs, but Mexico's defense did force 4 interceptions by Dazzo, and Dazzo was also sacked 4 times. So getting pressure on the veteran quarterback can cause those turnovers, and that was key to Mexico City coming out with a victory early in the season.
So from the 40, this is Dags, and boy, look at all the Vultures there on the screen. Return up to the 43-yard line with Nathan Blake on stats. Stephen Mullinex, I am Cameron Irvine here with you tonight. And some first half numbers. Matt Wilson, 3 of 7, 50 yards. Ray Bentley, 8 carries, 45 yards and a touchdown. T-Roy Gaines, almost identical stats, 8 carries, 44 yards. Dazzle was 5 of 6 for the touchdown, 35 yards, hit 5 different receivers all once. Barrett had 2 catches for 50 yards as Matt Wilson's pass, a one-hander, and nearly getting his arm removed. K.L. Barrett was the target once more. Did I lose you, Stephen?
No, just listen to the crowd
just
here.
Soaking it all in.
This great environment.
It is a beautiful night. Absolutely. 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line. 10:45 to go in the first half. Handoff goes to Bentley, and Ray Bentley picks up 5. And he's now up to 51 yards on 9 carries.
So here's the question now here on 3rd and 5. You know, do you continue to try and go to your running game? Can it get you that 5 yards here? Are you going to look to Matt Wilson, your Hall of Fame quarterback? Can he convert for you these yards? You know, in the passing game, you're going to have to get something out of them in order to win this ball game.
3rd and 5, Wilson. And Matt Wilson going to go down, a loss of 3 yards. That's Joe Dezo getting the sack. And the old man still making plays and forces a punt out of Mexico City. Their punter tonight, Alex Lopez, as he's been all season.
Well, Wilson threw 2 interceptions in the previous matchup, but he was only sacked once. So surely Baltimore wants to put more pressure on this championship quarterback when they can. And right there you see that pressure coming through, and Dazzle, the linebacker, actually getting the sack.
Near block there as McFly returns up to the 22-yard line. And didn't lose too much off of that defensive drive after Holder returned that last kickoff. So back in the hands of Mike Dazzo. 8 carries, 44 yards for gains. Nathan Blake all over that. Already told it to you, but giving you a reminder. 9:37 to go in the first half at Vulture Stadium. Gaines is the low man of the backfield, and Dazzo will throw it out to him, and he's got blockers out in front, and Gaines put a toe out of bounds. They actually mark him way back at the 25.5-yard line, and a late whistle there makes it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, had an opportunity to gain a lot more yardage, Cam. He had his blockers in front of him. They ran tripped wide receivers to the left and kind of shifted the defense over to that side, and Gaines, with his power and speed, easily gotten the first down.
4 receivers, 2 to either side. Gaines in the backfield. Nickel look for Mexico City. 3-step drop for Dazzo. Dazzo's got a great pocket. Oh, it's dropped over the middle by Shea Carroll. A rare drop, and he was wide open. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a rare drop there by Carroll, who's been pretty sure-handed this season. 51 receptions, 786 yards receiving, and 5 touchdowns. So surprising as their number 2 guy. Maybe some playoff jitters there.
Empty 5 wide now for Dazzo. Dime look for the Aztecs, trying to get off the field in a close game here in the first half. And Mike Dazzo's going long. Near side, pass is almost intercepted. And then a mad scramble for the ball. It was almost like Wallace thought that ball may have hopped off the foot of Garrett Malone. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, these 2 defenses here really establishing themselves.
Oh, it did.
It did. It actually did. There was an opportunity, a very small opportunity to catch that ball off his leg.
Wow.
It bounced twice off the leg, actually.
I got to be honest with you, Steven. I was just speculating, and it actually did happen that way. And wow, that would have been a tremendous play. Wallace can't make it, but Mexico City gets the stop thanks to Wallace's initial deflection. And another punt for Baltimore, Pablo Gates.
Yeah, and that's another 3 and out. And these are 2 top 10 defenses for a reason, and we're starting to see them establish themselves in this game.
Daggs up to the 40-yard line. Nick Daggs plays that slot-free safety position, 6'4", 225, second season in the league. All the Daggs watching tonight together with Vancouver Legion owner Andy Hamilton drove to Daggs headquarters and is watching some playoff action today. So we say hello to that big group watching tonight as Matt Wilson goes down again for a 4-yard loss. Michael Wall getting in on the action. 8:52 to go in the first half, and this game has turned defensive completely.
Yeah, well, Wall has been showing up tonight a lot, and they're just getting past the center very quickly, really using his violent hands to push the center back and giving Wilson next to no time to go through his progression.
2nd and 14 at the 36. Baltimore now has 3 sacks tonight by 3 different players. Handoff to Bentley. Bentley got a nice block right at the last second strung that out pretty wide. Got 4 back off the 3-yard loss, 3rd and 9 for the Aztecs trying to flip field position.
This is exactly what the Vultures want. They want to put this game in Matt Wilson's hands. He hasn't thrown the ball much this season, and I think they're ready for it here in the 3-4.
Here we go, Wilson. Matt Wilson flips it out to Bentley looking for a block. Didn't get it. Kaz McFly makes the play, only a gain of a couple. McFly, John with Bentley, and it's 4th down, another punt coming for Mexico City.
Great individual effort by McFly to make that open field tackle with a blocker on him. Squeeze past the blocker and get enough of Bentley to bring the big man down.
7:38 left in the first half. This has been the most competitive playoff game of the 4 that we've had, at least through a quarter and a half so far. McFly breaking tackles everywhere, returns it all the way up to the 26-yard line, and we've seen some really good punt returns tonight out of McFly and Jeffrey Daggs.
Yeah, seen a little bit more juice though out of McFly, and he's showing up on the defensive end as well. And for a rookie to come into his first postseason game ever and to show up as much as he has here in the first half speaks well for his potential on this team.
7:25 to go in the first half. Dazzo starts the drive from his 26-yard line, and Mike Dazzo had to scramble out of the pocket, took a big shot, T-Roy Gaines got nothing. King Wallace with the tackle, and man, King Wallace and Fran Agawa are doing a great job in the flats on a lot of different receivers running outs and screens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a negative play there for Baltimore, but I think you've got to like what you've seen from Baltimore's offensive line. Gave their quarterback a lot of time to find anyone open, just couldn't. But you've got to like the fact they're protecting him so well.
Handoff, Gaines. Gaines cannot get through. Jack Brown wraps him up around the ankles. A 5-yard gain and another 3rd down and 5. Neither team has been particularly good on 3rd downs so far tonight. Mexico City is 2 of 6, and Baltimore is 2 of 5. Thanks to Nathan Blake for that outstanding live statistic. 3rd down and 5. Dazzo flips it outside. Morgan runs out of room. They did call it a catch, but it's well short, a long one short of the 1st down, and the Aztecs get another stop. And Stephen, if my memory serves me right, the Vultures scored on the first series in their first matchup against Mexico City, and then they never scored again.
Yeah, a low-scoring affair, and the way these two defenses are playing, we might have a repeat of that tonight.
Well, the one thing we won't have a repeat of is Mexico City getting 5 field goals, as they managed to get a touchdown from Ray Bentley in the early 2nd quarter. This is Jeffrey Daggs returning up to the 31-yard line as this has turned into a field position game. Well, tomorrow night, Queen City and Tallahassee get going. Coverage starts at 6:30 on Twitch TV. Sioux Falls and Alaska, the 8-1 matchup, follows it around 8:15, and we'll see if Sioux Falls or Queen City can pull a monster upset and knock out one of the top 2 teams in the playoffs tomorrow. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. The handoff goes to Bentley, and Ray Bentley's got 9 out of the 41-yard line. Stephen, we've seen more 3-4 out of Baltimore tonight than I'm used to seeing, and it's an interesting wrinkle here in this ball game.
Yeah, clearly I think they know the threat that Ray Bentley is, and they want to put an extra linebacker out there to try and stop some of these runs, but it hasn't been successful tonight. I think because Mexico City's blocking has been so good.
And we've seen a lot of traps for Ray Bentley, even more so than we're used to seeing. So you can definitely see the coaching strategies developing here tonight in Baltimore. 2nd and 1 for the 41. Now a handoff straight up the gut to Bentley, dragging a defender literally about 6 yards down the field, and DJ Payne needs to pay his toll.
Yeah, it seems to be for these running backs a bit of feast or famine. You're getting those big chunk yards, or you're getting stopped right at the line of scrimmage because these defensive, especially these linebackers, are so good.
3-4 defense again being employed by Baltimore. Back to pass, Wilson straight back, throws quick slant. That pass is caught, a one-handed grab, and then K.L. Barrett gets folded up like a piece of paper. A 7-yard pickup, or just a couple yard pickup actually, brings up 2nd and 3.
Yeah, this really shouldn't happen. You've got two linebackers right in the area, but just a great individual effort by Barrett to bring it in one-handed across the middle. Knows he's going to get a helmet in the gut and is able to hang on.
Takes in company on the stop. 2nd and 3 at the Baltimore 48. I was right to say that was a pickup of 7. Certainly didn't look like it. With 4:38 to go in the first half, the Aztecs driving again about 13 yards outside of Cole Varner field goal range. The handoff goes to Bentley. Bentley slides into a lane and nearly picked up a first down. McFly with another tackle. 3rd and 1 at the Vulture 45-yard line with 4:23 and ticking.
Well, as you can see, this is a Mexico City team that really strives offensively on the run game, but also not making any mistakes. Wilson coming into this game, only 12 interceptions. That's the lowest amount by quarterbacks here in the SFL.
2 backs, 2 receivers, handoff Bentley again, and Ray Bentley ran into Joe Dazzo, and Montakes got there first as the linebackers were all over him, forcing a 4th down. And Steven, I think that's what Baltimore wanted to see out of that 3-4 tonight.
Well, and I think it was just a great defensive read by them. As you mentioned, they've been strong trapping right down the middle all night, Mexico City has. And on a critical 3rd and 1, they decided to go outside. And something Baltimore must have read that because they had everybody out there ready to take Bentley down.
Aztecs trying to pin the Vultures deep. This is a good one. Down to the 10, bouncing ball, 3-2. Oh, it took a bounce backwards to the 2-yard line. What a punt from Lopez as they pin the Vultures deep.
One of those Tiger Woods spins on the green, Cam, where they spin the ball and it kind of comes back a little bit. That was perfect. And it was headed towards the end zone and decides at the very last moment to turn back and put this on the Baltimore's 2-yard line.
98 yards to go for the Vultures, tied at 7 with the Aztecs in the nickel. Showing a blitz there off that left side. Maybe trying to get gains in the backfield. No, Dazzo's going to throw. Dazzo steps up in the pocket, fires, almost intercepted. That was Pablo Zamora, who was playing the underneath route, and a dangerous ball, almost a turnover, giving the ball to the Aztecs in the red zone.
Well, I think Dazzo almost paid for that hesitation. We saw him nearly take off and probably would have got a good 4 or 5 yards. Instead, just before crossing the line of scrimmage, decides to throw it. And that bit of hesitation opened the window for that defender to get in front of it.
3:25 to go in the first half. 2nd down and 10 from the 2. 4 wide now. Nickel look for Mexico City. They're going to throw it again. Dazzo. Pass out to Morgan. Picks up 2. This is very unusual, Steven. You usually don't see teams passing inside their own 5-yard line backed up like this.
Especially when you have a back like T. Roy Gaines back there who can get you some extra yardage and some cushion to make it a more comfortable 3rd down. But you're right, Cam. I thought they're spreading out this 4 wide to try and run the ball down the middle. Instead, they have passed these first 2 plays, probably on this one as well.
Nope, they're going to hand off the Gaines on 3rd down and 8. He nearly got the first down, but the Aztecs force a 3 and out. They have officially flipped field position and now can try to attack for a score just before the break. But the Vultures, like deja vu, that first drive, they were outstanding, and they just have not been able to put together anything since.
Well, and give a lot of credit to Mexico City's defense. Baltimore's playing mind games out there. You would think they would run the ball in that 1st or 2nd down and then throw on 3rd. They do the complete opposite, and Mexico City doesn't fall for any of them.
So this is Jeffrey Daggs, and a short punt to the 46-yard line. Daggs, man, some crushing hits out there tonight. Gets it up to the Vulture 44-yard line. Updated look at our stat board. Nathan Blake holding it down in the broadcast booth. Dazzo 9 of 13, but for just 44 yards passing. Wilson now 5 of 10 for 60 yards. Remember, he started 1 of 4, so has completed now 4 of his last 6 passes for 60 yards. Bentley is actually having the better night now. 69 yards, 14 carries coming into that one. Breaks a tackle, and Ray Bentley got out of there! 20, 15, breaks a tackle! Touchdown, Ray Bentley! Unbelievable!
The beast is loose, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, give a lot of credit to number 22, the fullback Tovar, with the excellent block right there. And then it's all on old number 27, puts the shoulder in a defender because he's got that nose for the end zone. Touchdown, Mexico City.
A tremendous block by Tovar, and then Ray Bentley does the rest. And a complete turn of events and turnaround here in Baltimore. as Mexico City has found some rhythm offensively, and they have the lead on the road, trying to become the first road team to win this SFL postseason.
When you come into somebody's house, they say two things translate the most for you as an away team: the running game and the defense. And we've seen that come true tonight for Mexico City.
And the extra point is good, and it's 14-7. Aztecs on top of the Baltimore Vultures. What a run from Ray Bentley. I mean, it just didn't look like there was much there. And all of a sudden, Ray Bentley found green grass only, as that's a deep kickoff from Varner, 5 yards from inside his end zone, and Holder, again, McFly exhausted from the previous series, returns it up to the 21-yard line. Mike Dazzo and the Vultures have some work to do, and Garen Malone, it should be mentioned, with just one catch for 4 yards here in this first half.
And Baltimore, plenty of time to get back into this game with the score before half. They've still got the 2-minute warning. They've got their 3 timeouts, 2:22 left on the clock. Plenty of time to move the ball down the field.
Dazzo starts the drive with a Gaines reception. It was nearly picked as a defender read that play in the backfield. He went off the screen so fast I couldn't see who that was, but Gaines just 3 yards on 4 receptions. The flats have not been open tonight, as we're going to trickle down here to the 2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, the SFL Quarterfinals on Twitch TV. By the way, haven't gotten to give some chat shout-outs yet, or some bit shout-outs, but Ram Voice with 200 bits just now. Appreciate that. 300 bits earlier from, must have missed it, R. Cochran with 100 here more recently. Dazzo's pass incomplete. Shea Carroll virtually decapitated. 3rd down and 10, and the Aztecs still have all 3 timeouts.
Well, look, this defense right now is playing downhill. I mean, it shows you exactly right there as the safety comes up and pops the smaller Carroll there, and trying for the ball, actually trying to pick that ball off. Just Carroll was just in his way, and the physical mismatch caused Carroll to go down.
That would have been a penalty in today's NFL for helmet-to-helmet contact, but Pablo Zamora, in an effort to get that pick, just punches Carroll in the helmet. Carroll's had a difficult night, had a wide open drop earlier. 4 wide. It's a deep shot from Dazzo. Oh, he got it over the defense. Shea Carroll shuts you up. 20-15-10 touchdown Baltimore. We're tied again. Extra point pending.
Well, something must have knocked. They must have ring that bell in Cheryl's helmet, Jade's helmet there, with the big catch to really open up this game for this Baltimore Vultures offense, who's this game's been a bit stifled, but there, just a perfect pass from Dazzo over the defender and Shea Carroll. Let me tell you what, this guy has been a deep threat for the Vultures all season. You know, you're asking him to catch over the middle. Maybe that's not his perfect route for him, but this outside route, he's had this all season.
Agawa way behind on the coverage. And some offense has broken out here over the last few minutes, and already more points in this game than in the first matchup of the season. Saw the Aztecs win 15-7. We had no field goals either out of Cole Varner tonight. The 7-5 Aztecs, the 9-3 Vultures, the 6-3 matchups in the SFL quarterfinals, and Tarkenton's extra point is up and good. 14-14. Call your friends and SFL Nation. We got a close postseason battle going on right now. Let's pause for the SFL just a moment.
Join the world's fastest growing sim football community by jumping onto our Discord server. Use the Discord command in chat to keep up with schedules, news, notes, announcements, and polls. Jump off the sidelines and into the action. Here where we're building legends at the SFL.
Not much there for Dags. Return out at just the 25-yard line. And Steven, I don't know about you. Obviously, we're not coaching. But if I'm Mexico City, I would just run Ray Bentley and run the clock out. Get to the locker room. I'd be very pleased at my performance in the first half and wouldn't want to make a mistake.
I don't disagree with you. That's how they've scored their touchdowns. So, they haven't been real successful through the air, so why not?
And there you go. Wilson lost a yard trying to hit Bentley, and that stops the clock with 1:40 to go. And we know, as Thornberry is yapping with Bentley, boy, these corners have been talking some mad game out there. But, yeah, Mexico City, man, you don't want to give Mike Dazzo another shot.
Well, I'm hearing from the sidelines that on that Carroll touchdown, Agawa, the guy, the defender in coverage, said he had a moth hit his face mask. And that's the reason for the touchdown.
That's terrible. 2nd and 11 at the 25-yard line. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Handoff Ray. Ray got 5. Keeps the clock moving. 118 yards on 16 carries. They've certainly been using him. And with 90 seconds to go, Baltimore trying to get the ball back.
Yeah, at this point, you would think maybe let's pass the ball. Let's try to get in field goal range. Maybe we can regain that momentum. But the way that Wilson's been playing, you don't want to force a turnover.
Wilson going to throw outside, caught. Richard Montague's first catch of the night, dragging defenders down to the 44-yard line.
And a risky throw that could easily have been a pick six. So taking some chances here.
Now Wilson again, going deep, caught. Montague down to the Baltimore 36. Timeout, Mexico City. The Hall of Famer is hot right now.
Well, that's why I'm in the booth and he's on the field. He's making these plays, finding these receivers here on this play. Just an excellent route. Great play drawn up by the offensive coordinator to get the receiver wide open between the two defenders.
1st and 10 at the Vulture 36-yard line. 55 seconds to go in the first half. 3-4 defense again for the Vultures. 2 backs, 2 receivers, back to pass is Wilson. Wilson outside to Bentley. Oh, Amon takes punishing blow.
What that does do, it does put Mexico City in field goal range.
2nd and 7, clock ticking, 40 seconds to go. Wilson going to throw. Wilson looking long. Oh, it's caught! Touchdown, Mike Daggs! How'd he catch that one?
And he did it over the interception leader here in the SFL, Giovanni Bolt. Look at the concentration by the big fella, the tight end, doing the spin in order to bring that one in. And has his eyes on the ball the entire time, where Bolt is having to play from behind.
Wow. This game has turned into a shootout.
Wow.
And a Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Famer going at it in quarterback. The extra point for Cole Varner is good. What a first half. 21-14. We'll be right back.
The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music and is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com today and search through thousands of tracks to boost the quality of your stream just like us. APM Music, production music library and custom music house.
Bailey Holder there again on the return. They are wearing Gaz McFly out. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line now. Baltimore still down 7. And this may be Matt Wilson's best half of the season. Wilson now 10 of 15, 129 yards and a touchdown. Started 1 of 4. Now 9 of 11 since. As that pass, nearly a pick 6 for Nick Daggs. He may rue the day that he doesn't take that back to the house.
You may look at that as if you're Baltimore and say, oh, we don't want to throw the ball anymore, but good night. The way these two teams have been playing, let's chunk it up to number 88 again. Let's see if we can match what Mexico City did.
Garrett Malone now 1 catch on 5 targets for just 4 yards. The Aztec corners have been stellar tonight, that whole secondary in general. 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line. Back to pass, Mike Dazzo, short throw, Holder trying to turn up field, did not get out of bounds. Baltimore doesn't want to call a timeout because they don't want to give Mexico City the ball back or take a risk at it. 15 seconds, 3rd and 1, hurrying quickly. Dazzo going to throw. Dazzo looking around, not much open. Oh, it's intercepted by Jeffrey Daggs. Down to 5 seconds, and there's a flag. There is a flag. Could that take him out of field goal range? He returned it out of the 23-yard line with 4 seconds left.
And I was saying, get down, man. Get down, young man. He can kick a field goal, trying to go for the touchdown there. Looks like we've got a clipping call, Cam.
Oh, my God. Mexico City just... and that's going to put the ball back on the Baltimore 41-yard line out of Varner field goal range. I've seen it all, man. That's unbelievable.
Wow. Clipping calls in Mexico City go together too well and too often. I'm sure Ramos Lynn would agree. I don't understand the call. I don't understand why you would push anyone, especially the quarterback in the back like that. It makes no sense.
That's just unlucky. And that takes 3 points off the board right there for Mexico City. And instead, Matt Wilson has to throw a Hail Mary. A tremendous play. I believe it was Agawa that put the hit on the receiver as Baltimore brought extra pressure, and that ends the half. Another sack for Wall, as that's been a positive for the Vultures tonight there on the defensive line. We get one last look at it.
Field goal. Now suddenly that possible field goal that the Daggs interception could have resulted in suddenly looms so large in this ball game for Mexico City. Up 21-14, but it could have been just a bit more.
Well, remember, they also could have had a pick six from Nick Daggs, so they had 7 points possible there. Then they had 3 points possible before they were pushed back out of field goal range. So Mexico City leaves some points on the board, but they lead at the half, 21-14. There's the first half numbers. The Aztecs with 115 yards at least rushing and passing, and Baltimore has just 2 first downs in the ball game.
Wow, amazing. And that's crazy to think because Seymour Gaines, as we see here, ran so well there in that first quarter and really put the team on his back initially. And we've seen both of these teams' defenses really step up as the game has progressed, and we've seen a lot of 3 and outs, and then all of a sudden just an explosion of points. Here, Ray Bentley able to go right down the middle of the field and get one of his 2 touchdowns here in the first half. But through the air, I think I've been surprised, Cam, that just there at the end of the second quarter, how much success both teams had through the air. And obviously Baltimore just with kind of a Hail Mary play to Shea Carroll to surprisingly get one. And then Matt Wilson comes back with 3 back-to-back completions in zone with less than 2 minutes left in the game. So just a crazy bit of circumstances and situations there at the end. Leaves us with, I think, total unknown to what's going to happen here in the second half.
The unofficial stats, I believe, are more accurate. Mexico City has 9 first downs. Baltimore has 4. But Baltimore 3 of 9 on third downs, and they certainly got a huge boost. There's the hit. Oh, that was Nick Daggs making the play on the receiver, and then his brother Jeffrey Daggs benefiting with the takeaway. Of course, then the penalty put him out of field goal range.
Well, you see Giovanni Bolt on the other side misses an opportunity to get an interception. Jeffrey Daggs gets one. Not forget, those are the 2 interception leaders, tied with 10 coming into this game. Daggs now has 1, up in his total to 11.
Start of the second half here in Baltimore, and what a tremendous first half it was. Alongside Stephen Mullinex, I'm Cameron Irvine. Nathan Blake is our live statistician for the evening from the goal line. This is Holder again out to the 21. And it looks like Holder's returning kicks tonight, at least kickoffs, rather than McFly, which is an interesting decision.
A little wrinkle there. Well, if you're Baltimore, obviously no need to panic here. You're only down 7. I'd still ride T. Roy Gaines, but you're going to have to get some of these passes completed. And Shea Carroll, although he dropped one early for you, he has a big, long-range one for you. Maybe look deep.
Dazzo going to drop it off to Gaines. He made a man miss and then trucks a man and gets 8 to the 29-yard line. I believe that was Pablo Zamora who just flew out of the picture, and that was the most successful Gaines has been in the flat all night.
Well, somebody got a pep talk at halftime. Boy, came out and looks like an all-pro there. Actually ducks under a tackle and then puts his shoulder into another and ready to really attack this Mexico City defense.
One receiver, top of the screen, handoff Gaines. Gaines has a huge hole. Gaines gets Agawa out of the way before Nick Daggs brings him down. 1st and 10 to the 40, his best run in quite some time.
Yeah, you can see he's just a violent runner, Cam. A bull in a china shop type mentality. This guy runs with absolute no hesitation. So, he has zero fear between the tackles, and he will come and bring the wood if you let him.
So, on a 1st down and 10, Gaines can't get anything. 2nd down and 10.
You got to get somebody else involved. I mean, Gaines is clearly your best offensive player right now, but you can't overuse him. And if this is going to be a long drive, Gaines is going to be standing on the sidelines for a couple critical plays, and you're not going to have anybody else that steps up. So, need to find someone else who can produce for you offensively.
2nd and 10 of the 40. Handoff to Gaines. Not much there either. Pickup of 2 yards. 3rd down and 8. Pablo Zamora making the tackle. And like you said, got to get somebody involved. And I got to believe that it's Malone. He's just been silent tonight.
Right. And you've got 2 other guys. You've got Shea Carroll. You've got Daley Holder. These guys, they're on your offense for a reason. Let's see if you can get them wide open.
3 receivers, 2 in the backfield. Oh, they're going to run it to Gaines on 3rd down and 8. He doesn't go anywhere. Wow, questionable decision there as the Aztecs start with a defensive stop here in the 3rd quarter.
And a good job there by the linebacker, Carlos Powers. But I just think they just ran Gaines a little too much, and you can see his stamina just start to go down with every play. And again, I think that's just because Mexico City has done a really good job of shutting down those other options.
And the Vultures, according to our statistician, outside of the Shea Carroll touchdown, have not gotten a 1st down since that opening drive, although they did have just the one on this drive, and that was their first in quite some time, but the drive stalls out and Daggs returns up to the 22.
Yeah, this isn't the offense that I thought we were going to see here, and that probably has a lot to do with how Mexico City's defense is playing, Cam, but let's not forget, this is a team that hasn't lost a game since week 4, the last time they faced Mexico.
Wow, that's true. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line for the Aztecs, who have had the Vultures number. Ray Bentley takes the carry, picks up 8 out to the 30.
And now let's see if Mexico City learns from Baltimore's mistake. Are they going to just ride Bentley with a 21-point lead here early and ride him into the ground? Or are they going to try and mix it up and get some of their other offensive stars involved?
2nd down and 2 at the 30. Bentley, 1st down to the 35. .7:33 to go in the 3rd, 21-14. Watching the SFL quarterfinals, Mexico City trying to pull an upset. 7:22 to go, 3rd quarter. Hand off to Bentley, and Ray Bentley only got a yard. Good stop in the trenches, and that's where this game is going to be won or lost, I think, in the end, Stephen, is just up front on these lines, and everybody's stuffing the box on Ray.
Well, these 2 defenses are two of the best in the league, and if you're going to telegraph it and you're going to keep continuing to run Bentley, they're going to pin their ears back and come after him.
Hand off to Ray. 3rd and 4.
And honestly, Cam, I wouldn't be surprised if they run Bentley on 3rd and 4. I mean, that's been their best play option. And again, someone else is going to need to step up, and I believe they will.
6:32 left. This is a big defensive stand for Baltimore. And Wilson's pass is caught on a slant. K.L. Barrett, a perfect ball as Tony Willis makes the tackle, but not before Mexico City gets back into Baltimore territory.
Well, they haven't put the onus of the offense on Wilson's arm. What they have said is that Wilson, as a Hall of Famer, when we need you to come up with a big play, we want you to step up. And he has done that so far in this game and so far this season, leading Mexico City back to playoff contention and not being one of the top-tier quarterbacks statistically in the league.
2 backs and 2 receivers for Wilson. Stack in the box. Matt Wilson going to throw. Wilson down the middle. Oh, it's almost intercepted. The linebacker couldn't get his head turned back around. That's Courtney Kate. But an incomplete ball from Matt Wilson, one of the few we've seen of the last couple of quarters.
And a great job by this Baltimore defense here as the linebacker, able to get a big paw on it. But get the feeling, Cam, that Mexico City, once Wilson completes one pass, they want to take advantage of that and him kind of having the hot hand and try to go back into the well again.
2nd down and 10, 5:55 to go in the third. Split backs, Wilson in some trouble. Wilson stays strong in the pocket, caught by Mike Daggs. An absolute bullet. It was a little wobbly. Bolt makes the tackle, but Wilson's making some sensational throws.
And Wilson, the veteran, fearless in the pocket, stands tall like a statue. And talk about statues, Mike Daggs, the big tight end, 6'7", 265, goes up with those go-go gadget arms and brings it down.
1st and 10 of the Vulture 27, 5.5 to go in the third quarter. 1 receiver either side. Handoff goes to Ray Bentley, and Bentley is brought down to the backfield by takes a loss of 1. Check that, DJ Payne with the tackle, his 2nd.
Yeah, I think Bentley, he actually lowered the shoulder just a second too early. He wanted to give it to the defender, ended up taking it.
Ball at the Vulture 28-yard line. Handoff, Bentley. Man missed a tackle, but then Kaz McFly there to wrap him up. Stellar play. 3rd and 9 now, trying to force a turnover or a Cole Varner kick for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I think a little bit of trickeration there tried by Mexico City. It looked like they were trying to run the ball to the right, and then they send Bentley over to the left, but just the defender that was hanging out there was able to eye it and spy the running back, bring him down.
3rd down and 9 at the 26, 4.5 to go third quarter. This is Wilson throwing against a 4-man rush. Pass caught, but won't turn the corner. That was Richard Montague falling out of bounds to the Vulture 21-yard line. So we'll see Cole Varner for the first time tonight as Baltimore, it would appear, gets a half stop since Varner hasn't missed all season.
Well, unfortunate for Montague there, falling backwards to catch the ball. If he was able to catch that ball cleanly and turn, he would have easily gotten a first down.
37-yarder for Varner. And the field goal for Varner, good. 24-14. 4:10 to go in the third quarter.
And Mexico City gets the field goal they probably should have gotten at the end of the first half. And it gives them the nice 10-point lead here in Baltimore. For the Vultures offense, we need to see some spark, Cam. We need to see this offense that led this team to 8 straight wins. We just haven't seen them for much of this game.
This is Holder breaking a tackle. Daly Holder! And almost got away to the 44-yard line. What a return, sets Baltimore up in stellar field position with 4:02 to go in the third.
Woo! Daly Holder almost broke that. We talked about needing a spark. That could have been it right there. But thankfully, the kicker is able to come in and do just enough and to get in front of Holder and get some help from the Dags, who was there right behind him.
That was the best return all night for Baltimore.
Yeah.
That sets up Mike Dazzo in stellar field goal range. 1st and 10 at the 44 with 4:02 to go in the third. 3 in the backfield. The Vultures offense been inconsistent tonight. Handoff, T-Roy Gaines made a man miss, and that ran right into an Aztec wall of Jack Brown and a couple of defensive linemen. Gaines has 70 yards on 5 yards a carry.
Well, that's called keeping containment by the defense. That's very well disciplined by the Aztecs. Yes, that outside tackler missed Gaines, but what he did do was his job and funneled him back inside where there were more defenders.
3:34 to go in the third, but still only a 2-yard gain. Gaines takes another handoff, looking for blockers. It took a while to get it set up, and then Gaines gets picked up and thrown down by Jeffrey Daggs coming over from the free safety spot on the far side. Another third down coming up for Baltimore.
And that seems unfair for Gaines to do so much to get on the outside. It's kind of scuttled by a couple tacklers, and then it's served up on a silver platter for Daggs to really lay the wood on him.
Just 3 of 10 on third down tonight. 3:05 to go in the third. They're going to give it to Gaines. Gaines had to make a man miss, and Jack Brown says, "You're not going anywhere." Now 3 of 11 on third down, and another drive stalls out for the Vultures.
Well, if you need third down on a 3rd and 4, I don't think you go one-on-one with 6'5", 254-pound Jack Brown, who's one of the best tacklers in the league and has been for a while. That's not normally going to go in your favor.
Man, I mean, I don't disagree with the call to run on third down and 4. Gaines has been getting 5 yards a carry. But Jack Brown all over it, and Daggs returns up to just the 15-yard line. So, oh man, we welcome you back into the broadcast booth here at SFL headquarters and out at Vulture Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, where Mexico City is trying to pull what I would call a pretty significant upset. Aztecs lost in their final game of the regular season to Las Vegas, but backed into the automatic qualifying spot after Sioux Falls was upset by Vancouver in Week 13. As Daggs floats one down the middle, caught right in between 2 defenders. That's Mike Daggs again, who's having a banner evening as Wilson's nearing 200.
Well, Wilson is the kind of guy who's highly efficient when he's in rhythm. We've seen this team try to take advantage of that. Often we'll see back-to-back pass plays, even though Bentley's running so well, because they want to take advantage of that rhythm there. Wilson makes a really gutsy throw, but perfectly drops it in the bucket.
Mike Daggs now 75 yards on 3 catches for a touchdown. He's the leading receiver for Mexico City. Wilson going long again. Oh, man, incomplete. K.L. Barrett laid out by Tony Willis. That is a championship safety hit.
Yeah, and I think this is a mistake by Wilson, throwing the ball in an area where he has 2 receivers, but a lot of defenders out there too. As it looked like to me, it was, as you mentioned, Tony Willis, who really keyed in on the receiver, knocking any chance of him getting that ball away.
Tallahassee and Queen City start or resume quarterfinal coverage on Twitch TV starting at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern tomorrow night, the 7-2 matchup. With 1:50 to go in the third, the handoff goes to Ray Bentley. Bentley gets bounced backwards, and Bentley lost a yard with forward progress back to the 35.5-yard line. A host of Vultures there on the tackle, including Thornberry and Wall. And it's 3rd and long for Mexico City for the first time in a while. Twitch shout-outs, chat shout-outs to Willis, Katunica, Vancouver Legion, Hendricks Thorne, SFL Player Personnel, Eddie Gage, Mighty RX, Dags83, Biz Woofer, and many others, as Matt Wilson just got it away, and Ray Bentley has nowhere to go. Loss of 2 yards, Thornberry there once again. And a punt coming for Mexico City as Baltimore's defense tightening up.
Well, Cam, I have to agree with you. If Mexico City is able to pull this victory out, it's going to be a bit of an upset. They are not a strong road team. Out of their 5 losses, 4 of them have come on the road.
That punt nearly blocked as McFly stands at his 30, makes a man miss, and then McFly picked up 5 to the 35-yard line. 44 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Baltimore needs something out of Mike Dazzo. Now 14 of 21, 136 yards. Does have the 2 touchdowns, no picks. Been taking good care of the ball, but his receivers have a combined 5 catches for 116 yards, but on 9 targets. Just haven't been able to get them going very much. 9 targets combined for your receivers towards the end of the third quarter. Not what Baltimore's looking for, as Dazzo flips it out to Gaines, and Gaines got away and got through 3 different Aztec defenders to pick up 8 yards despite having no help on the outside.
Yeah, we've seen this before, Cam. Gaines must be, chewing at the bit to get out there on the sidelines, because on that first play, he just is going out there to look to devastate some of these defenders.
2nd down and 2 at the 43. And Dazzo flips it out to Gaines. Gaines destroying King Wallace, sinking that island for a 1st down to midfield. And that'll be the final play of the third quarter. One last look at it.
Yeah, he isn't shy about lowering his pads, and he runs with, absolutely no hesitation. This guy will punish defenders.
That's the end of the third. We're back to Baltimore after a word from our sponsors. Put your 4s up. This is the SFL Quarterfinals, presented by APM Music on Twitch TV. Simulation Football League on Twitch, brought to you by APM Music, Show Business Studios, Media Tech Institute, ScoreStream, Spygoat, Matt Doyle Designs, and Richards Printworks. As we're back here at Vultures Stadium on a beautiful 58-degree clear night. The Vultures are in a bit of trouble, but this has been their best drive of the second half until that sack, a loss of 4 yards for Mexico City's defensive front.
Well, it's going to be a long day, a long night, or long fourth quarter, for Dazzo. If his offensive line is going to allow this kind of penetration this quickly, this is a team that needs to get back into this ball game quickly. Might not be time to press the panic button just quite yet, but certainly we need to see something out of the Baltimore this series.
Vultures trying to avoid a first-round upset here. Out of the gun for Dazzo. And Mike Dazzo goes deep. That pass knocked away. Swatted down by Pablo Zamora. It's 3rd down and 14. And, Steven, I can't leave the broadcast without talking about some of the struggles that Baltimore's organization has had in first-round exits. It's happened quite a bit in their franchise history, trying to change things with the Vultures.
Yeah, and you would expect it to change the way this organization has brought on people like Thomas Patonetti to come in and coach and co-own. You thought there'd be a different destiny for them.
Dazzo, deep shot. It's caught by Money Malone down to the Aztec 29-yard line. Finally, Malone making a big play in space.
Well, it seemed like prior to this play here in the second half, Baltimore was afraid to pass to their wide receivers here on the long 3rd down, have no choice, and go to their number 1 guy. Did he get both foot in? Doesn't matter. Here in the SFL, all you need is 1 foot in. But Mexico City is still challenging.
The question is, did he get 1 foot in? And this is a critical call, and maybe the Aztecs are just looking for a makeup call for that clip. Let's take a look at it. Maybe challenging just to try to swing some momentum. Looked good at first glance, and yeah, he definitely got at least 1.
Yeah.
You can't overturn that, please, for the love of God. And the play stands, so Mexico City will burn a timeout, rather unnecessarily in our professional opinion. Nathan Blake, Stephen Molinex, Cameron Irvine here with you in the booth. 1st and 10 at the Aztec 29, 10:26 to go in the 4th quarter. Vultures down 10. Gonna throw. Dazzo out to Gaines. Gaines got a yard out of absolutely nothing. Agawa on another tackle. And that just hasn't worked to Gaines in the flats tonight, and Mexico City showing no signs they're gonna forget.
Yeah, and this Vultures offense at times they'll nickel and dime it down the field, more loose change than a coin star out there. But they found success looking deep on those corner routes. I would expect them to do the same if they get in a 3rd and long situation here.
2nd and 9 of the 29. Dazzo steps back to throw. Flips it out to Malone, who makes the catch for a 3-yard gain. 3rd down and 6. And yeah, their 2 long passes tonight have been on corner patterns, 1 to either side of the field. And this is critical. It would be a 43-yard field goal from here for Tarkington.
And you need a field goal. You know that you're going to have to get one. So this, by no means, this isn't a loss for them. They just got to make sure they stay in field goal range, no sacks.
4 receivers. 3 to the right. Dazzo going to throw. Pump fakes. Dazzo, great time. Incomplete as it hits Zamora in the back, defending a receiver on the inside, and it'll be a Tarkington field goal for the first time tonight to make it a 1-score game.
Yeah, Zamora plays great pass defense and doesn't even realize the ball's coming at him. So I think a bit of a break there, but also just great defensive scheming to put a lot of defenders in that area. And maybe a bad play call there by Baltimore not to, like we've mentioned, go to the outside where they've had success deeper middle.
42-yard field goal for Tarkington. This makes it a 1-score game with 9:34 to go. That field goal is up and good. Boy, sure did take a long time to get there. A rainbow kick from Tarkington as the Vultures fans held their breath. It's a 7-point game.
Well, if you're Baltimore, got to feel good about that. You know that you needed to get a field goal regardless. Make this a 1-score game. You've still got plenty of time left in this ball game. Now your Vultures defense, who ranks 8th in total defense, they need to step up, stop Mexico City's dual pass run threat that they've had in this game, and see if they can give that offensive ball for a chance to tie it or even win it.
From the 2-yard line, this is Jeffrey Daggs on the return. Daggs only out of the 25. Baltimore's done a stellar job on Daggs tonight. And now I'm trying to think in my head, Stephen, who do you stop? Who do you have to stop if you're the Vultures here on this drive? And I think the answer is everybody. They've been so balanced tonight.
Well, I'd say take Bentley out of this game. Make Matt Wilson throw. Although he's had success against you tonight, probably one of his better games of the season, I still say put it in his hands.
Wilson going to throw. Wilson over the middle. Pass is incomplete, and I don't know who that's K.L. Barrett who's hurt. He got thrown around out there, and that is not good for Mexico City. He has been a dominant force. He was running a slant. Oh, Tony Willis. Oh, my. Did you see that?
Diving headlong into each other.
Wow.
And, those are the 2 immovable objects hitting each other, and Willis was able to get up, and Barrett wasn't.
That gave me chills. Tony Willis just abused K.L. Barrett in the open field on a slant. Bentley picks up 2. That could be a game changer. And Tony Willis, lucky we're not greedy. Otherwise, that would have been a fine.
Well, now, this Aztec offense is going to need to rely more on Richard Montague and their big tight end, Mac Daggs. They're going to move the ball through the air on 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 for Wilson. Matt Wilson's pass is picked off by Giovanni Bolt, who leads the league now. Return up to the Aztec 35, and Tony Willis's hit on Barrett has changed momentum.
Well, that's exactly why this Vulture defense wanted to put the game in Wilson's hand. They've got these kind of defensive playmakers in their secondary. And for Bolt, I think another guy who should be considered for league MVP, that's his 11th interception on the season, tying Jeffrey Daggs.
Man, I thought that Daggs had a chance to catch another one, and he would have gone. Bolt got aggressive, and it paid off. Now the Vultures offense has to make the Aztecs pay. And Dazzo fires one outside, caught by Carroll, who dropped an earlier one inside of 10 yards. Picks up 5 to the Aztec 30, clock rolling.
And we think back about that Barrett injury on that critical 3rd and 8. Would Wilson be looking for number 19 instead of looking over the middle for Daggs if he was out there?
The best of the 4 playoff games so far happening right now on whatever screen you're watching on. 2nd down and 5. Flip out to Gaines. Gaines got the first down at the 25-yard line. Just willing his way past the sticks.
Boy, Cam, that was really close. Initially, when I saw it from our vantage point, I didn't think he got it in. But Mexico City's not going to challenge. They're going to give him the first down and all the momentum.
8 minutes to go, 4th quarter. I think he did get it on that last stretch. Going out of bounds, 4 receivers. They're going to get it out to Gaines. Gaines, one hand, fancy man. Picks up just 2. 7:45 left in the 4th, and he's trying to pump this Vulture crowd up as they're trying to advance.
And they're starting to roar a little bit. You know, they got quieted here in the first half as Mexico City really shocked them at the end of the first half with that touchdown, but they're starting to rise up now.
7.5 to play. 2nd and 8 at the Aztec 23. 24-17 Mexico City. Out to Gaines again. Gaines, stiff arm. And Gaines finally put out of bounds at the 18-yard line, but not before he got 4 more.
Well, if it isn't clear by now, this Gaines is heavy in their offensive game plan tonight, either through the air or on the ground. But you got to think, they've been going to Gaines so much and wearing him out. One of these other guys, Malone, Holder, Carroll, one of these guys need to step up right now.
7:10 left. 3rd down and 3. You better believe Mexico City's keying in on Gaines here. Dazzo going to throw. Out to Gaines, other side. Gaines did not get it. Had 3 different defenders that could have made the tackle. Agawa, Zamora, but Brown got there first. Another field goal and another empty touchdown drive for the Vultures.
Well, going to that swing well just one too many times, and Mexico City had 3 defenders ready there to bring down the big fella, and Baltimore's got to settle now for a field goal attempt.
35-yard field goal for Tarkington. And Mexico City slows that boisterous crowd just for a moment. Field goal for Tarkington, good. A 4-point margin, 24-20 now.
And if you're Mexico City, this is a big win for your defense. You're coming off an interception in near scoring range of at least a field goal, and you're able to hold them to that, and you still have the 4-point lead. Good on Mexico City's defense. They've got to be happy with that.
Nathan Blake keeping track of stats tonight for us. We appreciate all that the live stats team has done all season. Stephen Mullinex and I have called now, what is it? That's got to be like 25 games maybe this season, somewhere around there. And certainly have enjoyed every second of it as the Aztecs get it up to the 26-yard line. We've seen some great games, seen some not good games. This one is up towards the top, at least so far, Stephen.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many great storylines. These 2 legendary franchises, they have a history here in the SFL that's deep and continues to grow every game. And this is just going to be part of the legend.
24 carries, 138 yards for Ray Bentley tonight. Matt Wilson going to throw to start the drive and threw it into traffic. Incomplete. Joe Dazzo. KL Barrett will be out for the rest of this game. And Matt Wilson is starting to get that incompletion bug back. And it's not looking good.
And I question the play call. I know there's still 6 minutes left on the clock, but Bentley's run so well in this game. Why not run him and see if he can run some time off this clock, get a couple first downs, and just squeeze out any opportunity for Baltimore to get back in.
3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield, hand off to Bentley. Bentley trying to follow a fullback blocker, and Ray Bentley picks up 9 yards. This may be Ray Bentley's best game of the season, 3rd and 1.
Well, that's why you run the big fella. Throws himself around with reckless abandon, able to make the big plays when you need him tonight. He's absolutely been a monster for Mexico City. This should be a gimme 3rd and 1 for Bentley.
Under 6 to play. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Hand off Ray. Ray got it. Slicing his way through as Joe Dazzo makes the tackle to the 36. And Stephen, I think the doctors may be trying to throw people off the trail because Cale Barrett definitely got a concussion on that last play.
Yeah, it could have been just a laundry list of injuries he got on that play, and we just saw the top of it.
That's right. 1st and 10 at the 36. Prayers for KL. 5:27 to go in the 4th. Hand off to Ray. Ray going nowhere. He was looking, viciously for a hole and couldn't find one. Cass McFly eventually brings him down. That clock is rolling. 5:15 to go.
Yeah, you're probably telling the big fella, hey, big fella, I want you to go north and south here. Let's use some of that power. But it does what it needs to do, Cam. It's running that clock.
5 minutes now. And off Ray again. Look at the vultures on the left side. That was not going to work, not in a million years. Amon takes, brings him down, and this is a critical 3rd down and 12, and the Aztec offense has not been as efficient on the last couple of series.
And I don't know if you don't just run the ball here, Cam. I know it's 3rd and 12, but you can get the clock down to into the 3-minute territory. That might be more valuable.
3 receivers. I think that's Mike Daggs off the slot, or in the slot there to the left. They're running some clock. They do run it to Bentley. Ray Bentley's got some room. Bentley picked up 8, and I think they're thinking how you're thinking, Stephen. We trust our defense. Pin him back deep. Don't take a chance.
And also consider your number 1 wide receiver is on the sideline.
That's a great point.
You don't have all of your passing options out there. Montague doesn't even have a single touchdown yet this season. So, how much do you trust your guys, especially after targeting Daggs, the tight end, and getting an interception on the last series?
Milking more clock, although they didn't milk at all. This punt nearly blocked. Oh, my goodness. As McFly stands at his 20 and doesn't get anything. Out to the 22-yard line. So 3:47 left. All the time in the world. The Aztecs have 2 timeouts. Vultures with 3. It's up to Mike Dazzo.
Wow, and think of the pressure, Cam. It's not just 3:47 left in the game. Maybe 3:47 left in your season. So all the pressure now on this veteran quarterback who seems to have been a little afraid to pass to his wide receivers in this game.
Dazzo trips right. Nickel look for the Aztecs, 24-20. Mike Dazzo's pass is picked off! Nick Daggs, 30! Nick Daggs to the Baltimore 25-yard line as Mike Dazzo threw into a crowd.
Goodness gracious, another interception, another Daggs comes up with it. Boy, that house must be rocking right now, but the reason why Dazzo has been afraid. Number 18, able to get Garen Malone, able to only get a hand on it, but tips it down into a defender's hands. Can't do that as the number 1 wide receiver, especially in the playoffs in such a critical moment.
Pablo Zamora was in coverage, 1st and 10 at the Vulture 25-yard line. Baltimore's got to hold the 3 here. Hand off Bentley. Ray Bentley breaks a tackle. Ray Bentley is met by Tony Willis, and Tony Willis was probably aiming for another target after a pickup of 7 for Ray.
Yeah, undoubtedly. Tony Willis, boys, he has sledgehammer in that secondary or what? He has made some hits in his career that have been bone-crushing and probably ended a couple careers here in the SFL.
2nd and 3 now in the red zone. And they just keep pounding away at big number 27, 30 carries tonight, and he has stepped up to the plate. His 3-4 defense for Baltimore hasn't been as effective as they would have liked. Down to 3 minutes to go. Bleeding a lot of clock now. Ray Bentley will not get the first down. And I think they do it again here, Steven. Run it again. Just got to pick.
I absolutely think they should, but I would love for them to fake a run, use that play action, and maybe toss one in the end zone just to steal it.
2:40 left, fourth quarter, 22 on the play clock. Baltimore in desperate need of a stop here. Don't want to start burning timeouts. Dags off the ball right side. Down to 10. Dags, Bentley, Ray Bentley, nothing. Cole Varner will come out. One last shot for the Vultures.
Whenever they try to run it outside, this 3-4 has been perfect,
right.
Cam.
Yeah, 3-4 has been great outside, not inside.
Not inside. They just creates too many holes, and these linebackers are getting blocked. But on the outside, they've had 2 or 3 defenders wide open to make a tackle on the big fella.
That is the 2-minute warning. You're watching the Simulation Football League quarterfinals, presented by APM Music on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. Mexico City and Baltimore. What a fantastic playoff game it's been, and we've got still 2 minutes of exciting football to go. This is a 34-yard field goal for Cole Varner. Neither kicker has missed in this game as expected. This is Varner's second attempt of the night. Good snap, good hold. Cole Varner's kick, good. He's 33 of 33 this season, putting together an MVP-type season. Number 15.
Yeah, that's the most consistent score in the SFL right there. And rumors of possible MVP voting for him just because of how perfect he has been in this league and how big for his team. If they are able to come out with a win here in Baltimore and be able to progress in the playoffs, his legend will grow.
I'm not sure that anybody's made 33 out of 33 in an SFL season before, as Holder gets it up to the 25-yard line. 1:52 left. 3 timeouts for Baltimore. They can't do what they did on their last drive. Mike Dazzo with the pick. That was his second of the game. He's 24 of 34 for 197 yards. Garen Malone, 3 catches for 32 yards. Shea Carroll, 3 for 87 and a touchdown. Daley Holder, 2 for 30 and a touchdown. T-Roy Gaines, 13 receptions for 39 yards. Just 3 yards a reception. 1st and 10 at the 25. Dazzo starts with a pass. Malone is wide open, and Malone almost split defenders and went all the way. Timeout, Vultures. What a play for Malone.
Well, he needs to redeem himself. He does redeem himself. Perfectly runs that route. Finds the cushion in the zone, and there's nobody within 5 yards of him. Defense, critical breakdown here. Not something you expect out of this Mexico City secondary.
Boy, they needed that one. Now, plenty of time at the Aztec 47-yard line. Right. I'm honestly surprised that Baltimore called the timeout there, but they still do have a ways to go. 2 timeouts for both sides. 1:47 left, 27-20, Mexico City. Empty backfield for Mike Dazzo, back to pass. Dazzo going long again. Mike Dazzo's pass is caught down to the 22-yard line. Caught by Shea Carroll.
Yeah, Cam, I was about to remind you before that Garrett Malone reception, Daley Holder, Shea Carroll, these guys can make big plays. They've made them in this game. Carroll comes up big, and they rush to the line.
1:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Going back into a heavy set, Malone at the top of the screen. They're going to run it to T-Roy Gaines, and T-Roy Gaines is picked up and thrown down by Jeffrey Daggs, and you can tell now Baltimore is trying to run this clock all the way down. They don't want to give Matt Wilson another chance.
Yeah, and they don't feel pressed, Cam. You know, they seem at ease, and that's tremendous thinking about the circumstances of this game. Here on the playoffs, it's under 1 minute, and they're comfortable enough to run the ball for a 5-yard gain.
2 in the backfield, 52 seconds to go. They're going to hand it off to Gaines again. T-Roy Gaines got pushed back behind the line, and Jack Brown gets the stop. Timeout, Baltimore. I don't think the Vultures were expecting for that play to get blown up in the backfield as it did. 3rd and 7.
Trying maybe to catch Mexico City off guard a little bit. 2 straight long passes and 2 straight runs, but certainly 4 down territory here. 3rd and 7. 49 seconds left on the clock. Still plenty of time to get this ball in the end zone.
4 wide, 2 to either side. Dazzo out of the gun. Dime look for the Aztecs. Mike Dazzo, good pocket pass, caught over the middle, first down out of the 9-yard line with 42 seconds and counting.
Doing a good job. They're saving their timeout, rushing to the line for a while.
Pass caught by Montgomery. Dazzo going to throw again. End zone touchdown. Darren Money Malone. What a throw.
Well, a huge play here from Malone. Redemption. My name is Malone. There on the post route. Just simple down the middle. Finds the seam. And Dazzo delivers the perfect ball in between the defenders. Talk about clutch, Cam. There was nothing about that entire series that seemed rushed.
Oh, man, what a drive for Mike Dazzo and the Baltimore Vultures. Oh, man, what a ball game. Extra point for Tarkington ties it at 27 with 34 seconds and 2 timeouts for the Hall of Famer. Or we're going to overtime.
Wow. Yeah, you've got to be reeling if you're Mexico City. I mean, your defense has held the Vultures for a good portion of this game, and suddenly just porous effort and unable to stop some deep throws by Dazzo.
Neon Killer says, my phone is at 1%. Ah! For Daggs from the 5-yard line. Jeffrey Daggs, dangerous returner, but he just has been slammed inside the 30 all night long. 30 seconds left. KL Barrett is out of the game. Steven, what do you do?
Well, you need to get into field goal range. You have the league's best kicker. He can probably get it in for you at 55. You're looking at the opposing team's 40-yard line. You've got 30 seconds. You've got 2 timeouts. I think this is up to Matt Wilson. Can he move the ball through the air successfully?
Daggs off the left side. Wilson straight back. Wilson pass caught Montague. Timeout. And Matt Wilson, the gall for Mexico City to call Wilson on a straight back look with pressure in his face, and Montague moves the chains.
Yeah, you need another 20 yards, maybe 22, 23. Need to get it quickly, probably 2 short passes, Cam, and then quickly timeout.
And now the question is, what is Varner's range? We've seen maybe a little bit of wind down here tonight. Not a lot. Wilson throwing deep, caught at the 40 by Montague again. They're hurrying up, trying to save the 1 timeout. It would be a 57-yard field goal from here. Wilson spikes it with 13 on the clock.
Woo! Can we talk about that 15-second kind of borderline? A lot of teams decide to go for the field goal at this point. Mexico City could use a couple extra yards for Varner here.
They could, but if they throw middle again, I'm not sure they're going to have enough time. They're going to kick it. Oh my, they're going to kick it, Steven. I think they have 1 timeout though.
Yeah.
Oh man, this could be MVP right here. Lock it down. Cole Varner and the Aztecs are going to kick it from 57 yards away. The field goal is no good. It's short with 8 seconds to go.
And here's the danger, Cam. Now Baltimore gets the ball back on their own 47.
Oh, man. And look how close this was.
Wow.
And the streak is over.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, wow. Yeah, just you hope, you would wish that Mexico City just would have got just a Ray Bentley run. Get you 2 or 3 extra yards.
You're
that's
right.
it.
I wonder if they even, I'm not even sure they knew they had the timeout left. Dazzo is going to be sacked, and Baltimore calls time, and they'll have to set up for a Hail Mary, and we may be destined for overtime here.
Wow. What an ending to this to this 4th quarter, Cam. I mean, goodness.
Oh,
so
man.
close. Mexico City, I don't think I've ever seen a game in the SFL where they've attempted a 57-yarder to basically win the game.
But it's Varner, you know?
It is Varner.
You got to give him a shot. And I just don't think they thought they had the timeout left, because that's the only explanation. That is Mexico City. That play, the pick 6 that was dropped, the clipping call. I mean, they've had plenty of opportunities to win, and Dazzo is going to be sacked, and we are going to overtime.
Woohoo!
Wow. Don't go anywhere.
This is what it's all about, isn't it?
We have overtime football in the SFL. And Mexico City wins the toss. They'll take the football. First score wins. What a classic. What a classic. Is this our first overtime of the season, Stephen?
It is.
And we're ready to go. Hashtag kick it. We're underway. Jeffrey Daggs on the return, 20, 25, and then again popped at the 27-yard line.
Well, Jeffrey Daggs looking to win this game on his own. He's got 3 kick returns, special teams kick returns for touchdowns. He's got a punt return for a touchdown. One of only 2 SFL players to have that.
Wow. My heart is racing. I don't even have any. I don't have a dog in this fight. I guess they both are. 1st and 10 at the 27. Matt Wilson outside, caught for a a 6-yard pickup, getting out of bounds. That is, and remember, K.L. Barrett not available for the overtime period. Misa Hiroshi with that catch, his first of the game.
Yeah, that's a good sign though for Wilson. Just give him something comfortable, get him back into that legendary rhythm, and see if they can turn that maybe into a couple completions here.
1,200 bits from BitW 4342K. He's ready for season 12. 2nd and 4 at the 32. Handoff to Ray Bentley. Ray Bentley ran right into a defender. Talk about looking for contact. A 2-yard loss brings up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, no more critical third down here for Mexico City than this. You're on the road in Baltimore trying to slay the dragon here. You need to get something here on this 3rd down to keep the series going.
Aztecs were up 10. 3rd down. Wilson, look at the pocket. Tremendous pocket, but Ray Bentley goes nowhere. 4th down, the Aztecs have to punt. Remember, last week, Mexico City had a 10-point lead at Vegas and lost that one too.
Well, give a lot of credit to Baltimore's defense, causing this Mexico City offense to go 3 and out. And now, all of a sudden, the ball's back in a Vultures offense that's red hot.
T. Roy Gaines, who's been the better of the 2 backs here recently. Lopez, no pressure on him. Boots it away. McFly on the return from the 33-yard line. Kaz McFly up to the 43-yard line. Gets 10 yards of field position when Baltimore only needs a field goal.
That's right. They don't need to get to the end zone. They need, probably 25, 30 yards. That's what they need to get into field goal range. Now, your kicker is 15 of 18 coming into this game, so it's no guarantee that he's able to get one of those longer ones, so you need to get him up there as close as you can.
18 carries, 77 yards, handoff Gaines. Mexico City is all over it. Did you see that, Stephen? Like a missile, Agawa and Daggs rushed to Gaines to make the tackle for a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, apparently, it looked to me like Mexico City must have tipped something on that play because there were 3 defenders ready to attack that running back right where he was.
9 minutes to go in overtime, unless we get another. 2nd and 13 at the 40. Gaines is the lone man in the backfield. Dazzle going to throw. Gaines stands into, it's picked! Picked by Zamora at the 39! Pablo Zamora on the return up to the 49 of Baltimore!
Well, that's what we're afraid of, Cam. That's what we think this Baltimore offense was afraid of. Those turnovers. Don't forget, Dazzle threw 4 interceptions the last time these 2 teams played. Here, just reading the eyes of the quarterback, number 29, Zamora, the veteran, able to come up with the clutch play, possibly saving Mexico City's season.
And Mike Dazo made the tackle.
Wow.
At the 49-yard line, this has been a roller coaster of emotions. As one instance you think Mexico City's going to win, then another Baltimore, and it's just been going back and forth all night. Wilson now with pressure to his left side, throws. Oh, it's almost picked off. Oh, almost picked by Hendricks Thornberry. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Thornberry, not a name that we've talked about at all tonight, but has 4 interceptions coming into the season. 6'2", 202-pound cornerback, and used all of his frame there just to get his hands on the ball. Nearly came away with it.
The playoffs resume tomorrow at 6:30 Central. Queen City and Tallahassee going to have to try to one-up this one. In overtime, 8:38 to go. Hand off to Ray Bentley up the middle. Ray Bentley now had to cut it out right. There was nothing there, and he picks up just a yard. 161 yards for Bentley tonight. Willis on the tackle.
Yeah, anytime that he's been funneled outside of the interior of that line and having to go outside, we've seen him get stifled a lot tonight, Cam. Here, critical 3rd and 9 again.
3rd and 9 without Barrett on the field. Mike Daggs has been quiet since his explosiveness in the 2nd and 3rd quarters. Wilson straight back, looking for a completion to the Baltimore 36-yard line. That is Hiroshi making the big play.
Well, Cam, what they have done is they have brought the bench player over to play the number 1 spot. And so naturally, Wilson's going to be looking in that direction, and you're asking a non-contract player to come up with what may be the biggest play of their season.
And now it's a 53-yard field goal, and if it's any indication from Varner's last kick, that is definitely within his range.
Yep.
As the 57-yarder was almost good. Now Wilson can't turn the ball over, hits Daggs to the Vulture 29, and now they are in Varner field goal range for sure.
Wow, Cam, I don't know what they were thinking there. Maybe they saw that the play was stacked against the run. Why not go with Bentley there? Yeah, at this point, I would absolutely run it, and it pays off. Gamble paid off.
2nd and 3 at the 29. Can't have a turnover here. Handoff, Ray Bentley. Ray Bentley, first down. Bentley breaks a Dazzo tackle down to the Baltimore 22-yard line. The Aztecs are about to do it.
I think I can hear all the way from the Daggs house, this man yelling, run the ball, run the ball. And when you can get first down and get down to the Baltimore 22, this is a chip shot for Varner.
Keeping the offense out there at least for another couple of plays or maybe one more play. Split backs for Wilson, changing the play at the line. Matt Wilson dropping to throw. Wilson steps up in the pocket, fires to the end zone. Oh, it's picked off! Unbelievable! Giovanni Bolt keeps the game alive!
An absolute destruction for Mexico City. This is ridiculous, Cam. You should have run the ball. Instead of running it, you throw it in the end zone to the interception leader in the SFL. It makes no sense.
I'm out of water. It's over. It's over for me. This is going to get ugly for me. 1st and 10 at the 20. 6:35 to go in overtime. And Matt Wilson, I mean, he could have run it. He had green grass in front of him. Dazzo out to Gaines. Nothing. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, if you're Wilson, just take the sack. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. You've got the best field goal kicker in the league, but he's going for the end zone, going for the gusto, going for the glory. And, boy, the Aztecs, how do you come back out there, Cam, as that's defense after seeing that take place on the field?
6:10 to go in OT. Tie game 27. 4 receivers. Dazzo out of the gun. Dime look. Dazzo to throw. Dazzo fires. Caught. First down. Shea Carroll to the 31-yard line. And the Vultures' drive rolls on.
Yeah, the Vultures should be absolutely dead. They should not be. They should be going into the locker room right now. They have found new life. And look, this Carroll connection with Dazzo, we've seen it produce touchdowns, long touchdowns. If you're Mexico City's defense, you cannot let number 88 get loose.
An update to the stats. Dazzo, 30 of 41 for 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Shea Carroll now has 124 yards on 5 grabs. Gaines, nothing. Only got a yard. 75 yards on 20 carries. Not the best night for Gaines. Jack Brown on the tackle.
Well, the Aztecs are making it pretty clear here on defense. If you're going to win this game, Baltimore, you're not doing it with Timor Gaines. You're going to need to throw the ball. We dare you to throw the ball. That could be dangerous.
5:13 to go in overtime. I don't think we've ever had a double overtime playoff game.
We haven't had one like this.
Hand
Sure.
off to Gaines. Gaines picks up 3. Still 5 minutes in. Well, I was going to say change, but now we're under 5 minutes to go. Zamora on that last tackle. Here comes another critical third down.
Cam, I'm still steaming about that Aztecs passing the ball. You don't have a number 1 wide receiver. You had a role player come in and make a critical catch for you. Why do you throw the ball in that circumstance? Wow.
4 wide. 3 to the right. Dazzle going to pass. Third down at 6. Dazzle dumps it. Where's he throwing it? Where is the ball going? And Baltimore's going to have to punt it away. Totally ill-advised.
It's just some sort of miscommunication, Cam. The receiver and the quarterback are just not on the same page. Here in maybe their last game of the season, you think they'd be at their strongest right now as far as chemistry is concerned.
I think he was throwing to the moth. We've had the ghost game. We got the moth game. Anybody catch that on camera? I've been on camera for a while. I just wanted to be on camera for the finish of the game, and I feel like I've been on for half an hour.
Well, somebody clipped that moth. Hashtag clip the moth. You know what I mean?
4.5 to go. Up to the 29-yard line for Dags, and Matt Wilson gets a chance at redemption.
And needs it, and this is a Hall of Famer. Doesn't need to prove anything, but right now he needs to prove something for himself, and like you said, get redemption for throwing that really crazy interception to Bolt in the end zone.
Or Dad in the chat, I need to go to bed. You need to get over it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Anybody else with me? Goodness. First and 10 at the 29-yard line. You can sleep when you're dead. 4.5 to go in OT. Hand off to Ray Bentley, and Bentley breaks a Dazzo tackle and then is put down at the 32-yard line by McFly. Bentley's slow to get up. 171 yards, a season high for Ray Bentley.
Yeah, but you can see the reason why they're still giving him the ball, Cam. He still has that specialness about him where he's able to break tackles, and we've seen him come up big in big moments. Why not now?
4:05 to go. 2nd and 7 at the 32. Split backs, back to pass. Matt Wilson. Time running out. Deep shot. Wilson caught by Mike Dags in a foot race. The Aztecs are going to the semifinals.
Oh, what a way to win it, Cam. Wow, redemption. Your name is Matt Wilson and Mike Dags. Remember, they are without their number 1 wide receiver. Oh, but guess what? Their tight end has become their number 1 wide receiver. Big plays from the big man at tight end. But the Dags household has to be going crazy.
Unbelievable finish. And Mexico City advances in a stunning upset, 33-27 in overtime.
Oh, and their mistakes, the mistakes that they made in this game ultimately didn't cost them. The interception in overtime in the end zone to Giovanni Bolt, when you had an easy field goal that could have been attempted to win the game, you give the game away. And let's not forget about in the first half, the clipping call that cost them a field goal attempt that could have made the difference in this game and actually won it at the end of regulation. But the mistakes that Mexico City made on the road didn't hurt them as much because Mike Dazzo, able to do something he hasn't done much of this season, is win through the air. Nearly 300 yards of offense through the air, Camp. Unheard of for this passing offense of the Aztecs that only averages 187.
Ramos Lynn and Matt Wilson have called this a rebuilding season. Well, I don't think you can call it that anymore. This was, in my opinion, the best game I've seen Mexico City play all season long on both sides of the ball, even though they gave up 27.
And the Vultures defense didn't not play well. They did absolutely, I think, what they needed to do to keep themselves in this ball game. I think the hesitancy in the passing game, and at least initially in this ball game by Baltimore, really hurt them. And at times they overused T. Roy Gaines, something that we've been critical of them not doing enough of. I think just a little bit too much of him and not enough of getting their wide receivers involved.
Mike Dags finishes with 151 yards and 2 touchdowns on 5 receptions, and each Dag got an interception tonight. This was the Dags and Matt Wilson show. Wilson finishes 22 of 34 for 314 yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Ray Bentley, 171 yards, 36 attempts, and without K.L. Barrett, the Aztecs make it happen.
Yeah, just an amazing all-around game. And all the stars that you just mentioned, Cam, they all stepped up, and they had to have really big games in order to overcome Baltimore on the road. And that should tell you what this Vultures team has been like this season, with 8 straight wins coming into this year, 9-3, and suddenly Baltimore now is going home.
So the Vultures, winners of 8 straight, coming into the ball game, go out the same way they came in to that streak. A loss to Mexico City. And the Aztecs will meet the winner of the Queen City Corsair and Tallahassee Pride ball game that is tomorrow night at 6:30. 8:15, Sioux Falls and Alaska will face the winner, or will face Houston Hyenas. The winner will face Houston, that is. The player of the game, it was a tough call, but yeah, Mike Daggs with that game-winning touchdown catch. 5 receptions, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And the Aztecs pull off an absolute stunner here on Twitch TV tonight in front of well over 100 viewers, as SFL Nation was all over this one.
Wait, Cam, this is what it's all about here. This is the pressure moments. This is a classic game that we got to commentate tonight, and boy, just a pleasure to be here and experience with you. More games, exciting games, hopefully to come for us.
Wow, for all of our crew, Nathan Blake on stats, who had a busy and long night. For Stephen Mullinex and the rest of the broadcast team, we are all exhausted. And the Baltimore Vultures fans are going home empty-handed, as Baltimore, again, will be without an SFL title. And super disappointing for them, but a tremendous season nonetheless. For Mexico City, the beat rolls on their quest for a second title. I'm Cameron Irvine, and this is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Good night, everybody.
Well, goodbye, Cam.
Bye.